Hey, Vikings fans, it's Carson Schubert with the Skol Purple podcast. You can find me on Twitter at Carson Schubert. You can find us on social media at Skol Purple Pod. Glad to be here with you because today's the day, week one. Green Bay and Minnesota doing battle once again. The rivalry's been renewed. Here we go. Week one is here. Finally, we could stop talking about we think Kirk Cousins is going to be better this year. Finally, we could stop talking about we think the offense is going to be better this year. Finally, we could stop talking about the defense is going to be better this year. Now it's the time when things actually are going to happen for the better or for worse. Whatever happens, we know it's Minnesota sports, so we know anything can happen. Anyways, let's go ahead and give you three key matchups today for the Vikings-Packers game. But first, we got to get you fired up. We got to get the Skol chant going. Skol, baby. Here we go. Here we go. Three key matchups for today's Vikings-Packers game. And let's start with the biggest one. Well, not the biggest one. I have it at number 3. Garrett Bradbury versus Kenny Clark today. I think Garrett Bradbury, the struggles have been well documented throughout Vikings Twitter, throughout every Vikings blog probably known to man. So it's time to ride or die with Garrett Bradbury today against Kenny Clark. If he can just be okay today, like we're not asking for a ton, I think we'll be in good shape, but I do think Kenny Clark's probably going to have a sack, a couple of pressures at least in the game. And what really is going to be interesting to see is how the Vikings, Kevin O'Connell, and Wes Phillips, how that offense has designed things maybe to help Garrett Bradbury, where he gets some help from a left guard or a right guard against Kenny Clark, and they bring in a sixth guy, a tight end like Irv Smith, or, the two blocking specialists that they have in Johnny Munt or Ben Ellefson. How are those guys going to help on the outside to create more bodies on the inside to help Garrett Bradbury? That's something that I'm interested to see, mainly on passing downs, because Garrett Bradbury's actually been a pretty decent run blocker throughout his career. It's just been the pass blocking. He seems to get railroaded against on passing downs against defensive tackles, defensive ends, whoever they decide to put in there. So big matchup today, Garrett Bradbury against Kenny Clark. Number 2 on my list, it's Danielle Hunter and Za'Darius Smith. Yes, I realize I spelled his name wrong. I apologize, Za'Darius. I think this is a huge matchup with Green Bay's injuries. They've got many injuries coming into today on the offensive line. Guys are going to play, supposedly. David Bakhtiari, along with Elton Jenkins, their stud left guard, right guard. He does everything for them except center, I think. He's really good, but he was also limited in practice this week. So that combination with some of the guys that left them last year, Green Bay's offensive line, I think that gives the Vikings an edge. Danielle Hunter and Za'Darius Smith going toe-to-toe with some of these tackles, and we might see him go against the guards. We might see him go inside. Of course, Harrison Phillips, Dalvin Tomlinson, the other guys inside too. Well, it'll be interesting to see how those guys do. Very interested to see Za'Darius Smith and Danielle Hunter. We didn't see Danielle Hunter for over half the season a year ago because of injury, so it's going to be interesting to see him paired with Za'Darius Smith, and I think they get 3 sacks combined today. I think the Vikings get 4 total sacks today. Hopefully I'm right, because I think that would put them in position to get the victory. And the number 1 matchup, yes, you guessed it, Justin Jefferson and Jair Alexander going toe-to-toe. Last year really didn't get to see much between those two because Alexander was hurt. And then we all know who started that Green Bay game last year, week 17, I believe it was, when the Vikings pretty much lost their playoff chances. And so really didn't get to see much of Justin Jefferson then either. And the last time they met was back when Justin Jefferson was a rookie. So Justin Jefferson may have a few new tricks up his sleeve against Jair Alexander here. But if you look at the statistics, the last time those two had to match up, it definitely went in Jair Alexander's favor. I believe there was 2 catches for like 12 yards for Justin Jefferson. But again, Alexander was out all last year pretty much, I think. So, and then Jefferson coming in for his 3rd year. He's got something to prove. He wants to be the best in the league. We've heard him say it. So why don't we just have him go for a big day today against Jair Alexander? That would be great. But Green Bay's defense is no slouch. They've got some good talent on that defense. They were much improved a year ago. So we'll see if Justin Jefferson is able to have success against the Packers stud corner. Well, appreciate you tuning in. Carson Schubert again for the Skol Purple podcast. You can subscribe and be sure to leave a comment or two. What do you think is the key matchup in this game? What are the 3 key matchups in your mind for this matchup between the Vikings and the Packers here today? And if you are feeling kind, I know it's not the holiday season, but if you're feeling kind, go ahead and give us a little love on Venmo. We're on Venmo at Skol Purple Pod as well. So really appreciate you tuning in today. And as always, Skol Vikes.